Hey everyone, so I'm recording this Thursday, May 4th, the day before tomorrow's fated Scorpio eclipse, lunar eclipse, rather. And everyone's been talking about it. Everyone's been looking at these charts and wondering what the hell's going on. And, as we all know, there's the typical, like really nuanced, dramatic expressions of such an eclipse. I mean, first off, it's in Scorpio. Now, I noted this in my forecast of how this is a time where the energies are really out of control, especially like yin sorcery, dark magic type energies. I think I woke up in the middle of the night last night, heart racing. I never wake up in the middle of the night. And I had to really do some clearing. I had to listen to something to like calm me back into a theta so I could get back to sleep. The energies are really intense right now. And what it was is I feel whatever it is, it's directing right at the heart of us. I was talking about with a friend earlier today, and I'm gonna go through the charts. I'm gonna look first. I'm gonna look at I'm gonna do the April eclipse, the Aries 29-degree eclipse we had on April 19th. Then I'm gonna look at tomorrow's eclipse, the May 5th, and then I'm gonna look at May 20th. On May 20th, it's not an eclipse, it's actually a day after the new moon in Taurus. But there's a T-square, a very heavy T-square, and it's actually what the thematic of this video is about. In essence, what I'm detailing is that it's not really about the eclipses, it's about this T-square, which is going to hit on the same degrees that the April eclipse hit upon. So whatever those energies are that are already in motion, because eclipses set are a set of energies that go out 6 months to a year. And while the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipses differ in what one is hiding and what one is actually bringing out, it's never in the moment that these things are brought out. In the moment, we're feeling whatever the impact of that moon expression is. So on the one tomorrow, we're experiencing a lunar eclipse. So there's an ending, something is done with, we're letting it go. Wherever we have this in our chart, wherever Scorpio is in this particular 14 degree. And in the human design, I'll go over the gate as well, but I'm already getting carried away. So I'm going to do the May 5th chart and the May 20th chart for this month. I'm going to do both charts for human design and both charts for astrology. And in the end of this video, I'll do a quick short summary so that there's some clarity. One of the gates has to do with confusion, so we'll see how much clarity I can keep. I'm really tired, it's late, but I wanted to get this video out. So I'm going to share my agenda first so you guys can see what I'm going to talk about. And I will pull up the charts. And I have some keywords. So starting with, this was the Aries eclipse. This was on April 19th. This was about 2-3 weeks ago now. And it was in gate 3. And this is what Jupiter will be hitting on May 20th. It will be entering gate 3. And so whatever occurred here on April 19th, it was a solar eclipse. So it was less about hiding something, although there's still things being revealed as these eclipses go over a period of time, start to reveal themselves over a 6-month to a year period. Now, in this case, Jupiter is going to hit around this area here. So we could say, as the overall thematic of this video, is we're looking at the early degrees of Taurus. And Taurus is the body. Taurus is the human body, in essence. And Uranus being in Taurus, there's so much electrical energy and electromagnetic energy flowing erratically through human beings at this time. There's so much digital effects on us, and just so many loose energies, so many types of electric pollution all around us, electromagnetic pollution, and some major things are happening in terms of how those dynamics are being foisted. And so this is where it hit. There's more new beginning energy as a solar eclipse. Gate 1 is where the eclipse is hitting tomorrow. And I'll show this in the human design chart in a minute and what pattern that creates, because it created a pattern in the human design graph that is actually common for around May 17th, 18th, 19th every year, but not fully, not always. But it definitely showed up in the um, on the May 17th, 2040 Phoenix event chart when I checked it. For those of you who don't know, this is the significant event talked about in the works of Nostradamus and the Nag Hammadi texts that were discovered in the 40s, 1940s, and in the late, and also in the work of Jason Breshears of Archaics in his book Return of the Fall. I think it's in his book Return of the Fallen Ones. Could be in a different book. So there's that, and then the channel Genius Freak in the Human Design chart is shown activated on the eclipse for tomorrow, and I'll go over what that means. And then on May 19th, the new moon happens in Gate 8, which is also following this pattern that I'm going to show, which has to do with the Taurus and Scorpio gates, all the way down the individual centers leading out of the physical body graph towards a death of sorts. All these gates are individual gates, and they're all Taurus and Scorpio, and they're all hitting right down the middle of the graph. I'll show you guys. And it's a certain pattern of death when all those gates are full. We don't necessarily have all those gates full on May 20th, but it's close. And then at the same time in the astrology chart, there's a T-square. So how that shows up is in the astrology chart, Mars will be in Leo 0 degrees, Pluto will be in Aquarius 0 degrees, and Jupiter will be in Taurus 0 degrees. And then it'll be conjuncting the North Node, which is in Taurus, which is all about financial resources and sexual forces. Taurus, especially squaring Pluto, is more about self-indulgence or power moves. Mars is about squaring Pluto, I'd say blocked efforts of achievement, probably by one's own inner drives and compulsions, or it could be externalized since it's in opposition. So it's like a Scorpio versus an Aries type energy, a Scorpio Aries confrontation. And let me get to the charts. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. So I'm going to start with the May 5th chart, astrology chart, and then I'll go to the human design. Okay, so this is the chart for tomorrow's full moon. I usually set the time at the Bay Area as the Bay Area, Pacific time, California. And so in that case, it's going to be around 8:32 a.m. That's a little before, but usually such transits, the events occur before. And so this will be tomorrow at 8:32. And we're going to have, it's going to be a lunar eclipse. So it's moon sun opposition. This is full moon. So the moon will be in Scorpio, which is, of course, very testy energy, very kind of unsettling energy, especially between genders. And looking at this chart, it's ruled by Gemini. Its ruler Mercury is, where's Mercury? Mercury's in the 11th, so it's in the social sphere, along with most of the planets, Jupiter and the Sun. The main events of this chart is mainly the full moon, and Let's see what else, anything else surrounding it. Uranus is conjunct the sun, opposing the moon. So Uranus is here, causing some erratic electrical shifts in us. This could explain erratic energy, especially in the energy bodies that I was talking about earlier. That seems to be going on. There seems to be a lot of information coming through. Uranus can be like genius. So tapping into this full moon, I would say like writing, maybe even talking, although talking is seeming to be like, as I discussed in my forecast, it seems like talking is more wasting energy. It's more about silence, but a lot of electrical mental energy. So a good time to write. And we have that south node on the moon, which is bringing back nostalgia and bringing back the past to weigh on us. So there's a lot of reflection on the past. There's a lot of getting caught up with past things. So I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to go to the human design graph for this time period. So let me stop share. And I'll share that. So this is the human design transit chart for tomorrow. And I don't know why it doesn't say the date on there. But as you can see, we have one channel being completed by the transit, and that's the 4323. And this is the channel known as Genius Freak. Those who have this channel have the capacity to, I'm gonna have to move for a second because I have to plug my computer in. I can't believe I didn't plug it in while I'm doing the video. Ridiculous. And so it has one channel here. Nothing else is to highlight except you'll note that gate 1, gate 2, and gate 60 are activated, and they're all along this like pathway here, which is going in this downward direction out of the body. And this is something I noted when I did my chart of the Phoenix event, because what that usually signifies is some sort of death on some level. If you guys give me a second, maybe I should pause the video. I don't know if that even paused the video. Strange. Okay, so this is the chart for tomorrow. And is there any other things to notice? More so, this is a building towards May 20th. And that's my point of this video is, yeah, tomorrow is really intense. And like, I'm not even like, I woke up in the middle of the night the other night. And so the electrical energy is really off and really disruptive. And like I said, a lot of that is like there's too much psychic energy in the air. It's a good time to really cleanse things, as I noted in the forecast. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to go to May 20th. And this is more so my point of what we're building towards. I'm going to start off with the astrology chart. Okay, so you guys can see this here. So this is the T-Square happening on May 20th. So what you'll note here is, as I mentioned before, Pluto's in retrograde as of May 1st, but it's still in Aquarius, 0 degrees on May 20th. Mars at around this time. So we have another early morning. I have 8:39 San Francisco Pacific time, Saturday, May 20th. So Mars will come in and land right on Leo, right there opposing Pluto and Aquarius. And this will be squaring Jupiter in Taurus, 0 degrees. Jupiter will be conjuncting the North Node at 2 degrees Taurus. So with the North Node in Taurus, this is highlighting the financial systems, money, investments, the ruler Venus. This chart is in the first house. So that's a major theme of what's going on. And some people are suspecting some kind of financial shift or change, especially since it's Jupiter in Taurus, like housing markets. We'll see. I'm not really into predicting those events all the time. I did in the fall. That was pretty accurate, but I'm not worried about it right now. So, and then, so that's the big tension that's occurring, and that's really intense because if you look where Jupiter is right here in the 11th house, conjunct in the North Node, this is around where the eclipse occurred on April 19th. It was 29 degrees Aries. So, but that's right over here actually. And where this Jupiter is shown it's hard to tell because where the glyph is not exactly where this kind of border is, but it's close. But it should be there. It should be there on 0. I don't know why I put it over here. Anyways, so that's the intensity of that's why May 20th is such a big deal. It's Jupiter's hitting at a point where the eclipse was. So those whatever started occurring around that time is going to be nuanced and amplified outward because it's going to hit that point. And so this will affect early Taurus ascendants. This will affect early Taurus energy, late Aries energy. So watch out for that. And of course, that'll be opposing, in opposition to late Libra and early Scorpio. And let me show the human design chart now. Okay, so this is the human design chart. And this is the transit chart for May 20th, the Bay Area. And what you'll note here, well, we have a couple of things going on. We have the channel transitoriness, the 35, 36 occurring. We have Neptune in 36, which has been there forever, causing us a lot of lack of clarity and deception and mistiness towards meeting new people in our lives. Because the 36 is just where Neptune is. And it's a Piscean gate, but it's also causing us to meet really, to have very powerful past life connections and magical connections as well. And so that's pretty amazing. So 35 is creating a channel there, and 35 is coming from the moon. So the moon will be in Gemini on May 20th. It'll be in Gemini. So that's a Gemini gate. And that channel is very powerful. It's like the energy of having a new experience. And it's about that channel wants to have its new experiences, especially with the 36. It's going to have its new experience no matter what. And it's going to gain knowledge from that experience. But more so, what I wanted to bring attention to was if you look straight down at the individual channel all the way down the middle of the body graph, you'll note that the 23 is activated. Now the 43 was activated on the eclipse tomorrow. And we have the 8 activated, not the 1. And then we have the 14 activated, not the 2. And then we have the 3 and the 60 creating the channel mutation. So the 360 is not something that can be controlled. The channel mutations energy is like something delayed, something confused, something new coming into being, something unexpected. And it doesn't happen at any time that anyone can control. And it's a vortex channel. So it affects everything happening. And this is, it remains to be seen what we'll see during this time on May 20th, just giving everyone kind of the heads up on just, I guess, a prep. I mean, you may not remember this video around that time, but I'm definitely going to put it on my calendar because it's hitting an important point in my chart. So I'm definitely going to observe it. And yeah, if you like this video, consider liking and subscribing and or donating below. I really appreciate everyone's support. And that's all.